Fantasy Six-Pack Hour with your hosts, Joe Bond and AJ Applegarth.
Welcome to the Fantasy Six-Pack Hour. My name is Joe Bond, founder of FantasySixPack.net. With me, as usual, co-host AJ Applegarth. What's going on, man?
Just rising to the occasion here.
Nope, we're done with that
doing well.
We're done with that conversation. I don't want to talk. I want
talking
to
about
anything about you rising.
Perv.
Okay, just making sure, man.
What's that, Merv? I can't hear you. Can you speak louder? Nope.
And then you suck, man.
Hi.
Dap, what's going on, man?
The PG side of the show. Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm great, man.
Glad to have you back, man. It was a long week last week with Jesse. Man.
Yes, I heard AJ cried when I didn't show up last week. I was really touched. So thanks, AJ, for that vote of confidence and that brotherhood that you've always told us about. So thanks, AJ.
I'm happy to do it. And it's not the first time that I've cried recently, actually. I understand, man. I won't get into it.
No. Yeah. I'm here for you.
It was a story that came up yesterday that involved.
So he is going to get into it, apparently.
So yes, you've already opened the door. So
you think you opened the door? I don't know.
All right, I'll just leave it at this. Joe, have you seen the video that my wife has of me? I guess trying to either talk about or laugh at T-Rex and their small arms.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yes. It was along those lines, but actually. Much more cry laughing than that, which I didn't think was ever humanly possible. But I found a way to do it last night. So it was good.
Good times. All right. So tonight we are going to be giving out some grades. The report cards are due. They're in the mail. The rookie performances. We're going to go through a bunch of those. Get into some little Bryce Miller talk. I love he's got cards. I love it. Well, who's hotter right now? Talk about some Rays prospects and a team that's getting moving in the wrong direction after a wonderful start to the season. But first, remind everybody to hit those subscribe buttons, follow, likes, whatever it is. Leave those 5 stars wherever you can. We appreciate it. And again, as always, our all-access memberships are available at FantasySixPack.net. Go to FantasySixPack.net/plans, become an all-access member, and you're going to get access to our award-winning rankings. We've got our Discord, which is phenomenal. We've got draft cheat sheets coming out for football. We had our baseball ones, obviously. We've got our DFS content, our betting content. We've got our hitter and pitcher list, our waiver wire that are paywall accessible for baseball. So lots of good stuff here. And, check us out. All right. Beer of the week, I guess. Yeah. Want to do it?
Yeah.
All right.
Beer.
All right. Dap. I know you're not beer of the week, but let's.
Yeah. So one of the things that I've realized is that I have yet to hear from the Tito's Brewing Company. They apparently called security last week when I went over to the distillery, but that's okay because that just means that I am that much closer to being noticed by them. So of course, Tito's handmade vodka. When you have to deal with AJ. Tito's.
Good. That's good. It's true.
I like it. One of these days, we are actually going to have you take a drink on this show. You will need to make something.
Okay, I will.
You don't need to take a shot of vodka, but you can.
After you replace me with that intern that you were showing me the other day, fine, that works.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I got nothing on that one. AJ, what you got? I'm tired.
All right.
I'm sorry,
Well,
it's been a whole week.
my beer of the week is a little ditty that you may have heard from a movie called Stand By Me. It's the Trogs Independent Brewing Company's
Lolly hop, oh, lolly, 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 lolly hop.
Boom, doom, doom, double IPA. It's tasty. That was terrible rendition.
Yes, it was.
At the end.
As long as you know, as long
as
as you know it was terrible. Then
so yeah, that's what I'm drinking. Deal with
All
it.
right, I am drinking. I haven't had these in a while. Other half, cheddar bits. They've got very strange. I mean, they've got like, Dab, you don't know, like, so they actually name a lot of their beers after like vegetables and
Gouda.
like, food.
Oh, okay.
So they've broccoli, like randomly. It's
Hey, look at that.
It tastes nothing like cheddar bits.
Look at
Oh,
that.
okay,
Although
good.
I do like cheese and I do like cheddar, so it wouldn't be horrible. But in
found
beer,
Just the idea of the beer and then
no, absolutely not. It's just a double IPA.
Okay.
Well, we've kind of said this before. I'll be honest with you. A lot of the other half beers all taste the same. AJ knows. Like,
don't
they
we
make-
will lose our cool cards if you
make a
tell the
million-
secret.
They make a million IPAs and they're just all kind of the same. But they like make new ones and then you're like, well, I gotta try that one. Oh yeah, that's right. It's the same as the last one. They just repackage it.
They just have new can art.
It's good though. It is good though. It's a 4 1/4. I mean, they make very good beers. So
Yes,
like
they
give them
do.
credit for that. So definitely good there. And yeah, let's move on here. So rookie performances. So we're gonna start here with
You mean grade the rookie performance, right? We're gonna, everybody has to put a grade in here. I'm gonna hold the feet to the fire.
all right. Starting with Anthony Volpe. It's a Volpe.
Volpe?
Be
Yeah, sure. So we're looking at his stat line here, just kind of going the normal stats here. Batting average, not so great, 212. Although it's climbing. He's hit 6 bombs. He's kind of gone a little bit of a heater here recently. He's got 13 stolen bases already. So, good counting stats as far as steals and power. You like that, right?
Right.
But he's got to get that batting average up. He's still hitting like 9th in that line. Or no, is he still batting first? I know he was there for a while, but
He's been all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just
only 19 runs, only 17 RBI. So you would hope, you would think, he would have a little bit more, but just not getting on base enough to be able to do that. BABIP is kind of low, 276. So, maybe there's some, positive regression here with his batting average. Dap, what are you giving Volpe so far?
look. I mean, I think even if so Yankees infield is not is not for the faint of heart, especially for a rookie. So the fact that he is in the positive of defensive runs saved definitely is the first thing, right? Because if you start making a ton of errors, the crowd's going to turn on you pretty quickly. I love looking at Yankees Twitter because it's one or two sides. It's either Volpe's got to go, or you have this guy, Apple of Nestor was awesome. He's like, for some context for the fans that are frustrated, Anthony Volpe, breathe. And he puts Anthony Volpe's stats for this year, and then next to it, Trey Turner. Just to give you an idea, of course, just totally rational minds over there. Honestly, C+ for me, right? Because he's like you said, he's stealing bases. he's trying to contribute elsewhere. He looks like he's pretty positive in the sense that he's not hanging his head. His last 7 games have really kind of shown some life, but he's still striking out way too much, right?
Yeah.
2 home runs, 4 RBIs, the 10 strikeouts, but it's 286 average, 375 on base, which
you couldn't go back 8 games. There was another home run.
Oh,
of course. Oh my, come on! At least give him the 3.
This reminds me of the game show we played the other day when somebody randomly picked him off OBP time. But yeah, no, I think it's all trending in the right way. I think everything's kind of going well. I think overall the Yankees are kind of just a mess at the moment, and he's just kind of in the crux of it.
Yeah.
And every time I see it go right, Volpe's right there. Every time it goes bad, Volpe's right there. A C+.
AJ, any thoughts other than agreeing with that? Because
I mean, I'm probably around the B- C+ area there. I mean, the Yankees in general are just a train wreck right now. But it is good to see him starting to come back to life. The combination or comparison of him to Trey Turner is actually very funny because Trey Turner started off really hot and then just disappeared. So, but is Trey Turner gonna stay that way? We'd hope not. So I think it bodes well for Volpe. Again, he's still a rookie. He's still got plenty of time to figure everything out. He's going to have a decent leash. So I think once they figure out where they actually want to put him in the lineup and leave him there, then that's going to help him figure things out a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this. So in the last week, right? So go 8 games back, right? He's got the 3 bombs. He's got 5 RBI, 5 runs, 2 steals. His OBP's at 400. I mean, things are trending up. I'm good with I'm honestly gonna give him a C. I mean, overall in the year, it's been pretty dismal. As far as fantasy goes, I've got him in NFBC, TGFBI. We've got him in our Dynasty League DAP that we run. Yeah, we're just playing him there, but I've actually had him on the bench plenty of times throughout this year so far. Basically, whenever they face decent pitching at all, I just sit him because he just strikes out entirely too much. When they play, when they play the A's, I threw him in there and he went off. Go figure.
It's okay, baby. They're not talking about you.
Sorry, man. I mean, I would do the same thing, man.
It's okay. From a fantasy perspective, I do the same thing.
If they play the O's, the O's pitching is pretty horrendous. I'm throwing him in there. But when you play Tampa, and of course he went off against Tampa too, which was oh, thanks, dude. But it was you lose out on that one. He actually he's actually homered today. So he's now got 4 bombs.
See.
There we go. Fine, C+. No, just kidding. I mean, look, it's they're giving him a long leash. That really is what it is. So, they even brought back up Peraza, right? And he's just a bench right now. So, moving on here, we're gonna talk about Kodai Senga.
Senga.
Yeah, they should. I agree with you, man. So we're looking at some stats here for Senga. It's not been phenomenal. The strikeouts are great. 55 in 43 innings. The whip though 1.4. ERA somehow below 4, even with a whip of almost 1.5, which is shocking.
Right.
He's just walking far too many batters, in my opinion. He's walking over 5 per 9. That's concerning. He's got to be able to rein those in, or he's. I mean, his left on base percentage is 82%. That's sky high. That's closer level rate. You let on one guy, you get 3 outs, and so your left on base percentage is usually pretty high for your relievers. You don't want an 82% left on base percentage for a starting pitcher. That's high. That's screaming his ERA is going to skyrocket.
Right.
So me personally, I love the strikeouts. I don't really like anything else out of this. I'm probably also going to give him a C. I know it's just kind of like he's got to get his control under command. AJ.
Yeah, I mean
sorry.
it's fine.
I was going to let AJ maybe.
Go. No, please. No. Look, I'm a gentleman. Please let AJ go. My apologies.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't anticipating going right now. Damn it.
Okay, Dap.
Yeah.
Great show.
Yeah, so I mean, look, he set the record yesterday for most strikeouts by a Japanese-born pitcher in Mets history. Great, right? And he's doing a lot of those kind of like big headline things, but it's like he has a great game and then he has a blow up, and then he has a great game and he has a blow up, and I almost think he almost has too much movement. It's almost like a Matt Brash situation, where it's almost like, they show the ghost and, this is ghost ball and this fork ball and all. And it almost is like it has too much break that he doesn't know how to kind of control it, or it's the ball, something. But it's crazy if you kind of just look. I mean, like, here's one game and he strikes out 20, 40 batters because they don't know where the heck the ball is going, and neither does he. But then the game before is like, 5 earned runs and 8 hits. Like you said, he's straining a lot of base runners, but then the game before in Colorado, right, he had 0 earned runs, but he had 4 walks and only 4 strikeouts. So that one was, if Colorado didn't suck, he would have been destroyed by any kind of better team.
So I'm sure you're looking at the game log, so you can't answer. AJ, how many times do you think Senga has walked less than 3 batters this year?
Walked less than 3?
Yes.
Good question.
I don't know. Once.
Correct.
I also have the thing up, so.
You cheater.
Shooter. Right. Yeah. Well, what I was looking at though is
you didn't know.
I know. I was going to give you kudo points, like wow.
No. I don't.
It's Jennings from Jeopardy.
Again, that kind of calls
Mets,
out to the concern, right? His walk rate is astronomical.
Yes. I mean, yeah.
I had 2 shares of Senga, and I've traded him in the last 2 weeks. There's other places to go.
Dynasty.
Yeah, like I
know you play a lot of Dynasty.
Yeah, like it's one of the. I mean, I got it was a 3-1, right? I was getting 2 prospects, 1 starting pitcher that was in Major League, and for Senga, I'm like,
he's
he's 30, exactly.
Like, how many more years can he really go? And if he's gonna perform at this level, like he's not gonna be.
You get Senga because he's gonna get you to that championship now in fantasy. You're not doing it for a rebuilding club or. Well, but that's why you had gotten him, right? That's why you'd gotten him in the offseason. Right. And that's just not where my 2 clubs are. My clubs are like, competing. And I was like, no, I could do the same thing with Taj Bradley and have kind of a game, whenever. Like, I don't need that from a veteran in his 30s.
Yeah. I mean, the big thing I was going to look at here was the home away splits. I mean, he's been really good at home, and he's been way worse on the road as far as earned runs and everything there, and that's at Cincinnati. Okay, bit of a bandbox, as we know. At San Fran, not so much. At Oakland, gave up 4 earned there. And
how many did he walk in Oakland?
4.
4. Yeah. I mean, just because of Oakland's philosophy of walking and
I mean, it's his walks 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 1, 3
consistency. So if you're in a fantasy league that counts walks positively, Senga's your guy.
Yeah,
let's do
trade for him.
Let's do
now.
some DK prop bets on walks for Senga. I'm gonna go with the over on 3. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, his only away game that was good was game 1 at Miami, and probably because it was Miami. Still had 3 walks,
Right.
but 8 Ks. Only gave up 1 earned. So, yeah, I mean, I don't have any shares of him, and I'm not necessarily looking to accumulate any shares of him. I mean, maybe if I need Ks, maybe, but other than that, I'm not really playing him.
Right.
Not that interested.
So what was the? Did you give the grade? I'm sorry. Did you?
My grade for him
Yeah.
would be a C.
Okay. All right. No problem. We'll make it shorter. We're getting yelled at from the back room. Our many producers are throwing all these epitaphs at us, so we'll go faster. My apologies.
If I wasn't watching the Lakers Nuggets game, I'd probably actually yell at you.
Pipe down. All right. Moving on. We've got Mr. Gunnar Henderson, Baltimore Orioles. Wannabe great-ish, kind of. Hasn't been very great this year yet. And we talked about this a lot. Preseason. Because he was going to have a high draft cost, and he just hasn't lived up to it. You're looking at a below 200 average, 197. His OBP is decent at 342. Slugging is not really much higher than that, though, at only 369.
That's
1 steal, 8 ribbies, 4 homers. Wait, that's in 122 at bats. So he's not playing well.
Today he struck out 3 times. So
yeah,
no bueno.
Yeah, and if you have him in a points league like I do, he's definitely not helping you because of those Ks. What do you think of Mr. Gunnar here, Dap?
I mean, I think it's always fun when you're looking up information for Gunnar, and all the articles you're seeing about him, right, are like kind of not fluff pieces, but they're like happy pieces. Like, hey, every rookie struggles. The Athletic is running something with Dan Conley. He's like, we spoke to Cal Ripken and Nick Markakis about his slow start and the problems that face all top prospects. And I'm like, that's not good. Like, I mean, yes, he's good. Look, Gunnar's too good. Just like I said about Anthony, right? He's too good to suck this bad, but absolutely, I don't put him at a C+. I definitely put him at a D because it's not. It's say that too. Yeah, because it's not the Yankees. Like, you're not dealing with the New York media, right? You're dealing with the Baltimore in this kind of this younger clubhouse. And yes, there's expectations on them, but he doesn't have that kind of that intense scrutiny beyond like the fantasy community, of course. That he should be doing this to this level. There's some hints here and there of like, he's doing better, and he's definitely struggled the first 6 weeks, but he's changing out, getting more comfortable in May. Those strikeouts are just way too high. That to me has got to change. If I don't start seeing, we got to stop seeing like 20 or so strikeouts a month. That's way too high.
I mean, is he doing better in May? Like,
No. I'm just saying, like, that's the articles I'm reading, right? Like,
I'm just saying,
yeah.
It's not though. Like, he's got 1 home run. His OBP is 292. He's got 2 RBI in the entire month of May. Well, actually, scratch that. I only went back 14 days, but 5 runs, like, not good. And AJ alluded to it. Like, I screamed from the mountaintop as many times as I possibly could. Do not reach for Gunnar Henderson. I know the potential is there, but we are like, there was a massive gap. It was like the first 6 third basemen, like a 20 gap ADP Henderson, and then like a 40 like a 40 gap ADP, and then it was Max Muncy. How many people wish they waited on Max Muncy now? Look at that. And that's what I was saying. Go get Max Muncy. That dude's going to gonna crush your average, but so's Henderson. So there you go. I'm right there with you on the D, man. It's just not looking good. I didn't expect this to be this bad, but I didn't think he was going to just turn out to his game last year didn't show that he was going to turn out to be some stud. I know he had flashes in the minors, but he actually went through the minors pretty quick, and I wonder if that's catching up to him.
Yep.
He's just not ready. So
not ready. Man, the man says he's not ready. I think it's one of those where they're going to at least keep him up, and he'll make adjustments. I think by June he'll be okay, but it's going to be some growing pains. That's for sure.
It's going to be rough. So next up here we got Masataka Yoshida. Yoshi. So the pitcher for the Boston Red Sox here. Sorry, outfielder.
No.
Why did I say
Okay,
that?
I was like,
So I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
it's like
you have a weird league where he has like RP eligibility or something.
He's like,
I want to be in that league. Now I expect that from AJ. Joe.
That was a flub.
I know the guy plays outfield.
Sorry. That was a flub.
This
Anyway,
time.
Yoshi, 6 bombs, 26 runs, 28 RBI, 2 steals, 300 average.
Yeah.
Having a pretty damn good year. Only strikes out 9.4% of the time. That is phenomenal. He actually walks more than he strikes out.
Who do you think would win in a ghost ball chaos between Yoshi and Senga?
Huh?
What?
I don't know.
Oh, shut up, dude. I just got that.
Totally. I'm gonna give him an A-. Not quite an A, because his power, like you were kind of expecting a little bit more power from him, but it hasn't popped yet. But I'm giving him an A-. He's just a good, well-rounded player. He's not really hurting you in any category. He's helping you in average, because average is awful, everywhere.
OBP is nice.
OBP's 381 because he walks a ton. So I give him an A-.
Yeah, I love how Codified Baseball put something up on May 9th. I mean, that was 9 days ago. But in 102 pitches that Yoshida saw, he didn't swing and miss once. I mean, I didn't expect this level of like just him being able to acclimate so quickly, right? And I know it's baseball and it's supposed to be safe, but we've seen people come over from another market and struggle. And for him to just be on it already, I think the power is going to come. But for him to be on it, and again, Boston market, definitely they'll eat you up pretty quickly. I've been incredibly impressed. I would almost put A+, but definitely A for sure. And not to mention, I mean, he had the hitting, the on base streak. I mean, he's had everything kind of going for him. I think the power comes behind it, but it's been pretty impressive with his bat on ball skills.
Contact percentage when he swings is 84%. That's so crazy high.
Wow.
Enormous.
Wow. And everybody's like, will he be able to acclimate? Well, yeah, he's fine.
He's done. He's already good.
No,
I mean, 492.
Sure.
I mean, he's right now batting 500 slugging percentage. I mean, that's not. I mean, yes. Would you like more like home runs? Sure, but that's still not bad.
Yeah, AJ. Any
I'm giving him an A. I mean, based on draft cost and everything, this is what you wanted. And I don't really see him falling off. I don't know if people are gonna figure him out. It's like he doesn't really swing. And if he does, he's hitting the damn ball. So
it's going somewhere.
It's the contact is there. It's just
he's by the way, good comparison in my opinion. He's Luis Arias with way more power.
Oh wow, yeah, I didn't even think about
valuable.
it. That's great. That's a great. Oh yeah,
he's actually good for fantasy outside of batting average.
Right.
Luis Arias is not good for your fantasy team. Sorry,
Right.
he's just not.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So next,
Stephen Kwan.
yeah.
Oh man!
Okay.
All right, so next one, I'm introducing this one because that way I can get it out. AJ, don't you dare, sir. Francisco Alvarez. So now they're having fun in New York, right? It's Alvarez, it's Vientos, it's Batty. I mean, those three guys, kind of came up the system together. They're helping each other, and Alvarez is now catcher eligible. So everybody should be all over this guy. He looks like he's not only having fun. I mean, he's killing the ball. What do you think? Because I'm right now leaning pretty. I mean, it's a short window so far, but man, he looks pretty good.
Yeah, he's definitely crushing the ball. He's hitting plenty of bombs. He's got 4 home runs already in a limited amount of time he has played. Strikeouts, not great. So the bat the ball isn't there, but when he hits it, man, it goes far. So I mean, the batting average is bad, but I mean, catcher eligibility. There's not a lot of good hitting catchers out there. Let's be real.
Right.
So you're gonna take a 218 average from your catcher if he's gonna hit you 20 bombs, right?
Right.
If not more.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna raise his score just slightly, only because of the catcher eligibility, and I'm gonna give him a B.
Okay.
The batting average definitely is a drain, but again, you might have been able to pick him up, midway through the season at this point, and
sure. I was able to do that in the F6P league, and unfortunately, he is now slightly dinged up. But it sounds like it's day to day. It doesn't sound.
Well, that's your fault.
Overly
why
concerning.
Are you picking people up?
No, because he was good when I picked him up, and I think then
you ruined him. Don't you know this by now? You're supposed to.
Yeah, he hasn't been good since I've had him.
We talked about this, AJ.
So AJ, what was your grade? I'm sorry. Did you say that already? Okay.
I'm gonna give him a B-. Just right. The average. I want to see that turn around. I mean, I think the power is legit, and 4 bombs and 78 at bats is nice. Only 9 RBIs, so it's kind of like Schwarber-esque in a sense, where he just hits home runs and doesn't get people on base first.
I mean, he's hitting a lot of solo bombs.
Yeah,
but that's the thing though. If he's not hitting bombs, he's not doing anything. I mean, he's got a budget 0 for 4 games, 0 for 3. He's got a 1 for 4, but there was nothing behind it. And I mean, the Mets are struggling too, and I know you're saying they're kind of turning it around with this this new young crop coming up, but it's not enough.
Well, so a couple of things about you guys with the average, right? So if you look at his career, he's been about a 250 hitter anyway, so 218 is not that far off. But the OBP, is going to start creeping up here because he's above a 350 OBP, for his career again. So, you can live with a guy at about 250 who's catching, especially the veterans. And that's another reason why I'm going to give him a bump, because this isn't some startup pitchers, right? He's pitching, he's catching Senga, the guy we just talked about, right? He's catching all these high dollar Scherzer and all those other kind of high dollar Verlander, yeah.
Bassett. I mean, there's dudes there.
Oh,
right.
Wow.
So Bassett's trying out. I was just gonna.
Great call on that Gunnar, but jack squat about the Mets.
But I think the thing is, frankly, that again, catchers catching the position's always been a joke. I hate catching as much as Dave Eddy hates pitching, but I definitely would love Alvarez, especially in an OBP league, because I expect that to be over. It's a kick up here. He's only been in 21 games. I'm sorry, 26 games. He's 21. Messed that up. He's 26 games, so it's not like he's been there for a lifetime. Give him to 50, and I'd like to check back in on him. I honestly give him about a B+. Yes, I would like the strikeouts to be, but 27%, especially in this day and age,
it's tolerable. But
yeah. If he was in another position, I'd probably give him a B-, but B+, catcher, Mets. There's a lot of things going. I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
All right.
I was with you. I kind of gave him the bump just because of the position. Another Boston Red Sox here. We got Triton Casas, first base for them.
Sure, he's not a pitcher.
Man, power's there. 6 bombs already. You're liking that. 188 batting average.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
RBI
Love
15, runs 19. He doesn't run at all. Even with the new rules, he's not running. Strikeout rate 25%. Walk rate 16. So like his OBP is solid, 321 because of it.
Right.
It's just his contact isn't. He's not really hitting the ball hard enough, and like he's hitting a lot of he's hitting a lot of, what is it? If I'm reading it right, he's hitting a lot of like fly balls, but I guess they're not being hit hard, so they're just not carrying, right? So there's just something off here with Casas, and like, you know, I know Boston's sort of in like rebuild mode ish. They're good, but like they're not. I don't know. I guess they're just giving him time like Gunnar, right? It's kind of the same feel here.
Right.
They're just letting this guy come up and figure it out on the fly. He's a little older. I personally would give him like a C-ish, maybe C-, because the batting average is just so atrocious. 188, that's a tough pill to swallow, even at first base.
Sure. You know, I think first base is atrocious to begin with. I think we looked at it like, I think it's pretty like some of the other bases too, right? It's pretty top heavy, but he's always had a terrible average. He's always a greater play at OBP, and we got kind of that taste with that 27 games or so that he did last year, that he was, you know, he's going to walk a ton. Everything else has looked bad. It reminds me a lot of Jarren Duran's kind of, you know, when he came up last year, right? A lot of fanfare. He looked like he had a ton of power, and he was awful. And they send him back down, and then of course it was like, you know, will he ever come up again? And he's this crazy guy, but you know, now he's up and he's flying around the bases, and you know, he's doing what he's supposed to do. Casas looks like he needs a lot more time. Yes, he has some, you know, when he does hit it, oh my God, that moonshot he hit the other day, Lord, I mean, that was, he obliterates the ball. But you're right, like, and he's not striking out a ton. It's like 25%, right?
Yeah, it's not horrible. It's just his the quality of contact.
Yep. And that's the thing, though, with him, right? We expected kind of a more mature hitter, somebody who's going to barrel the ball more. The thing is, again, his barrels are not bad, 12%. His hard hit rate is 33%. Something's got to give there, because everything else kind of is in line, right? The line drives percentage is good, and all those kind of things. There's going to either be just a complete cratering of whatever's on a low batting average, or it's going to go the other way. I expect it, because of who he is and what we've seen in the minors. It's going to, you know, go the other way. But for right now, he's definitely in the C- territory. I expected a lot more from a guy. And I'm seeing the underlying numbers, but everything else has just been terrible.
Yeah, I'm on board with the like C- aspect of it. I mean, looking at what he did last year versus what he's done so far this year, you know, for Boston in the majors, his walk percentage is down a few points. His K percentage is right in line. It's a little higher, but nothing, to really sneeze at. His average is down a little. So, I think he's going to have plenty of time. Again, just like Volpe, they're not going to just get rid of him and call Adrian Gonzalez back to, see if his ghost ball can somehow fly out of the ballpark.
That's like a 10-year ago pull, man.
Wow.
That's what I do, man. That's what I do.
By the way, his walk percentage, 96th percentile in the league.
Yeah,
I mean, he knows how to take a pitch. He's just got to make better contact. I mean, he's like 55th percentile on like hard hit rate. This is not something you expect from a slugging first base. Like, you want a slugging first baseman, and he's just not really doing it right now.
AJ, are you going to now throw out a Nomar Garcia Parra reference? I'm just waiting for the.
No ma. I mean, Casas is like a taller, leaner Vogelbach right now. So,
but they still both don't run.
Exactly. So,
All right. Let's do the next one here. We got Esteury Ruiz.
Oh yeah.
this one is a
My
pitcher,
boy.
though.
All right, I got a great trivia for you. I got great trivia for you guys before you guys get into grades. Okay, so there is 2 people with 80 grade equivalency ratings in the MLB. Esteury Ruiz is one of them. Who's the second?
Was it 80 grade?
Yeah, well, I mean, grades on skill, right? Only go up to 80, right?
Yeah.
Right. Know that. So so these are the overall.
Right. Just on speed. Esteury Ruiz. Speed grade only. Esteury Ruiz is one. Who's the other person in the MLB? I'll give you a hint. He's on the DL. IL, sorry.
Speed?
Yep.
I was gonna say Volpe, but that's not him.
Nope.
No, he's not on the IL.
No. And I'll give you something else. He's always on the IL.
Buxton.
Close.
IL.
All right. It's Alberto Mondesi.
Ah,
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh, that makes sense.
bringing the Red Sox
I
back.
just thought that was interesting in my little research for this segment. So
Yeah.
sorry. Continue on.
Esteury Ruiz, outfield for the Oakland Athletics. Had a bit of a rough start to the year. To say the least. I think Dap can agree with that.
Yep.
Yeah, it was like, holy smokes! Like, what did we do? Why did we draft this guy? He can't he's fast, but if you can't get on base, he's not stealing bases. But he has figured things out here this last few weeks here, and he is now up to a 340 OBP. His batting average is at 277. He's got 20 stolen bases on the year already. I mean, damn. Only one bomb. That's fine. You weren't drafting him for power.
Yeah.
19 runs, 22 RBI, which is actually pretty weird. Like, you would expect it to kind of be flipped here. He expected him to have more runs than RBI, but
Yeah, but who's hitting him home?
right,
Like-
exactly, yeah.
I mean,
Who's
He
bunting
doesn't
him?
walk at all, which is crazy.
Yeah.
3.5 walk percentage, but he doesn't strike out a lot either. 17%, like that's good.
Yeah.
Just under 18 actually. 17.7. I'll give him a B.
okay.
I think he's I think he's an above average hitter. And you're loving the 20 steals. I mean,
Right.
This is Birdie-esque from last year, dude.
Yes, it is.
Right?
Right. No,
This is
definitely.
exactly what I thought of when I saw his stat line. So you can have the floor, Dap, as the A's fan.
Well, I think the only difference between Birdie is that, we weren't sure when he was going to play every day, right? Like each day you're like, is he benched or whatever? Like if he was in a daily league, you're like, you'd have to check every day. The great thing about
when Wendell and everybody else was hurt, you're like,
no, you're right. You're right. No,
He helped me win the fantasy six-pack league last year. I picked him up off the waivers and was like, thank you. I got my steals category now.
look, I'm going to give him an A because people drafted him for one reason, right? Steals. And I made the joke. You made the joke. Everybody made the joke. Well, steals aren't going to happen if you can't get on base. And guess what? He's getting on base.
Yeah.
Enough to steal. Right. I mean, all the other stuff, right? Home runs, we weren't expecting that from him, right? The fact that he has over 20 RBIs is just mind-boggling to me.
Oakland scored more than 20 runs.
Shh, baby, I'm so sorry.
Just
Don't listen to the man.
As he hides his Oakland A's hat.
Oh, I'm not hiding. I'm just petting it to let it know it's okay. Look, I mean, I give him an A because he's doing exactly what he did, and he's doing it to the extent we wanted him to, right? I mean, he's on, is 100 out of the question? I don't think so. I mean, he could go nuts here in 20s. Are we at the quarter point? I don't even think we're there yet. So, yeah, I definitely give him an A for that.
I think
No?
we're close.
We're close.
Right
Okay.
around it, but
Yeah.
Well,
so,
you guys
I mean,
talked about it on the game show, and I think Dave was saying that, like, if we if you're on pace for, like that was a few days ago, but it was like if you have 17 stolen bases as of that Monday night, then it was like you were on pace for 70 or whatever. But yeah,
I can't do the math, man.
I know. It was like
he's on pace to do more than 20 stolen bases. How about that? How about that? How about that insight?
Yes, we are at the quarter mark. Past it.
So he's projected to only steal another 30 bases in like triple. Like
No.
He's already got.
I guarantee he's gonna have more than 50. He'll have. I guarantee this, unless he gets injured, he's gonna have more than 50 stolen bases before the All-Star break. But I'm gonna throw the gauntlet.
Like there's no doubt about it. Like he runs, like, and he should.
I can see that. I would.
But how many times are people in front of him?
Yep.
How many times is there somebody on second when he's on first? Probably not a lot. Good job, Oakland.
Yay.
Yeah. Like, you know what, guys? We're going to go into this year. We're going to figure out a way to win a category in something and have a player do it. Steals. This guy, you're batting in front of him. You don't get the hell on base unless you get your fat ass to third. Right? Looking at you, Vogelbach. You're not even on his team, but I don't care. You're still fat.
All right, we're just gonna move on. Oscar Colas is the next.
Dab is down. I repeat, Dab is down.
Oh man.
Oscar Colas,
colonoscopy ass.
Outfield for
guy.
the
F.
Chicago White Sox.
F.
What? Stop
An F.
talking. Okay,
I'm giving my
fine,
grade.
You're done. So yeah, 211 batting average, only one home run.
I like how, pardon the interruption, there's a mute button. Like you should be able to hit it for like 10 seconds, right? Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
I muted AJ. I'm allowed. 211 batting average, one home run, 8 runs, 7 RBI. Strikeout rate's not bad. I mean, 23. Like you'll take that in this day and age. He's only walking 6% of the time, so you would want that to go up. I mean, slugging percentage of only 276.
So
yeah, I'm kind of with AJ on this one. This is a big fat F, and I mean, the White Sox are doing pretty bad. So,
well, the big reason why he's an F, other than everything you just said, he's in the minors right now.
Yeah,
right?
He's not even here. Why are
yeah,
we even
I mean,
talking?
he's destroying the minors. Don't get me wrong, right? He's supposed to be, right? You know, he's 443 on base percentage, and just in 600 something slugging percentage, which is what he's supposed to do. But I mean, I wonder how much of this is him. I mean, I give him an F as well. Don't get me wrong. But I wonder how much of this was him being bad at the beginning of the year, or just the entirety of the Chicago White Sox just being terrible at the beginning of the year. All because of La Russa, of course. But just
I love how
I don't know. Yeah, I just there's 2 auction leagues that I'm in that are AL only auction leagues. In both leagues, like we're $800 budget, give or take, right? We got up to like $50, $60, and I was mad at myself for letting him go. I was like, oh, he's going to be so good. And I'm like, thank God I let that go, because that was not good. I mean, outfield, you can find that. There's enough people being called up. It's a deep enough position.
Yeah.
You don't need to be touching Oscar Colas right now.
Yep. Last up here, we're going to be talking about Miguel Vargas. Pull up his page here. So we've got the second baseman for the Los Angeles Dodgers. I mean, kind of a mixed bag of like good and bad here. So, A+. 41 games played. So 4 home runs, 20 runs, 22 RBI, only 2 steals, 227 batting average is kind of, a little lower than I would have hoped from somebody who has a batting profile that's way better than that.
Right.
K percentage is good, 18. Walk percentage is also good at 14. So OBP leagues, he's cleaning up, at 340. I'll give him a B just because, he was never like a true like power hitter in my opinion. He's got a little bit of pop, but seeing 4 home runs already, not bad. But the runs and RBI are there because he plays for the Dodgers and he scored a crap ton of runs. The batting average is low. I wish he would run more. Like, I think we've seen him run more. Like in the minors last year, he ran a good bit. Right. So it's a little strange that maybe he's just got a crowded base path like in front of him. Like when he gets on base, there's always people in front of him, so blocking him from able to steal second. Maybe that's the type of thing that's going on. But yeah, I'll give him a solid B. He just he needs to get better contact with the ball. Like his hard hit rate is 30%. That's got to come up for him to get on base more often, in my opinion.
Yeah. So Howard Cole put it succinctly about Miguel Vargas, right? Howard Cole on Twitter. Miguel Vargas is hitting 265, 381, 500 with the runners in scoring position. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. But
even better, he's hitting 286, 375, and 524 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Look, this guy, like you said, is around a bunch of veterans, right? And if he was not hitting, the Dodgers will, it's like the Yankees now, right? They'll find somebody better, grab somebody out of the lineup. But, I think the overall numbers don't look great, right? If you just looked at the overall numbers, I'm thinking C. But I'm definitely bumping him up to a solid B because he's doing what he needs to do in the sense of it's not fantasy sexy, right? He's not giving us, like you said, the steals in the overall game and some of these home runs and things of that nature. But from a real baseball perspective, he is absolutely delivering a kind of a clinic of, hey, I need to get on base. And I think what they're telling him is like, don't steal, right? You have enough big hitters, professional hitters behind you. Let Mookie do the stealing. Let some other people do what they're supposed to do. And by the way, Mookie today, he had a leadoff off second that was so large that it ended up messing up Wainwright, who ended the gamesmanship that these veterans have, like Mookie, who was on there, and he messed up Wainwright to the point where he had a pitch clock violation and ended up reloading the bases. Oh, so Vargas, I think, is just like, hey, look, man, get up there, hit the ball hard, and just score runs. Solid B for me.
Yeah, I'm on board with the B, maybe even B plus. Honestly, I do like Vargas a lot this year. Unfortunately, I don't have any shares of him. But just looking at what he's done from the outside, I feel like he's just beaten me up, and every week somebody I'm playing has him. So
yep,
not very fun.
What?
But like I like that his O swing percentage is down almost 10 points from last year. He's only added basically 23% compared to a little over 31, 32. His contact is there. Inside his Z contact percentage, 88% is pretty solid, and I feel like a lot of that has happened directly on the weeks he's played me. So.
Taking it personal.
I'm gonna give. I am, but I'm at least giving him a good grade because I'm fair. I'm tough but fair. So
got it. Tough but fair. Understood.
Yeah, I do like Vargas, so I'll go with the B plus here.
All right. So that is our grades for the rookies this year. There's a lot more we could have talked about. Obviously, could have thrown in like a Taj Bradley.
Who is back up as of today?
Yeah, yesterday.
Was lucky enough to snake him.
Was it today or yesterday?
No, I think he got. He pitched today. I thought that he just got. Yeah, he got recalled today.
Oh yeah. You're right. Sorry. Yeah, pitching against him, and people were like worried, like because he got pretty smashed in the minors. They're like, oh man, he had ERA over 4, and like he's gonna come up, and he's fine.
Yeah,
like,
going. I mean, that was my thing. I was like, oh, cool. He's like, I've just been sitting and watching him, and I'm like, nobody pick him up, nobody pick him up, nobody pick him up. And then I saw he was coming up.
Fantasy six-pack league with all of us. So,
who did?
Me.
Oh, you did?
I kept him the whole time. I thought he would be back a lot sooner, honestly. I didn't know it was going to take almost a month. And I was like, damn it, what's going on? But, yeah, he's back. I think he'll be good.
Yeah,
Sorry.
2 earned today on 3 hits, 5 innings, 4 Ks, 2 walks.
Yeah.
1 homer.
So we're going to talk about Bryce Miller. And, he's now had 3 starts on the season. All very, very good. So, like, what do we do with Bryce Miller? There's a lot of like there's your true believers on Bryce Miller,
right,
and then there's like your I'm not sure with this guy. He so far on the season, man, ERA of 0.47, clearly not going to stay there. I mean, hey, let's set some records, brother.
As well.
But yeah, I mean, started out, against Oakland. 10 strikeouts next week. Next time out, got Houston, strikeout 5. And then this week, you were thinking, oh man, we're gonna get like another 10. Detroit, only 3.
Yep.
That's a little concerning.
Right.
Still doesn't walk anybody though. Like that's the crazy thing. Just none. Like 1 on the entire season so far. And granted, only 3 starts, but they let him go deep in the game, 6, 6, and 7. That's a good sign. What are your thoughts on Bryce Miller?
I mean, it's got to be an A+, right? I mean, for what he's done so far. From a fantasy perspective, let me get there for a second. But I can't remember if it was his second or third start. Everybody was talking about like, well, he's only a fastball pitcher, and he's got these like secondaries, I guess. And it was funny because again, it was either his second or third start. He decided to throw a majority secondary pitches, and he struck out like a ton of people. So the thing is, this is a great stat from LES Sports, right? Bryce Miller is the first pitcher to allow no more than 3 base runners, hits, walks, hit by pitch, and 6+ innings pitched in each of his first 3 career appearances since 1893. Look, I am a huge Bryce Miller fan, right?
Wow.
I get it. I own him in 3 leagues, and I am trying to trade him like crazy right now. Again, I'm gonna try to trade him like he's a Porsche, and I expect 3-4 prospects back type of thing. I will totally be happy to like I'm a betting man. I'll write him for another couple of starts. Sure, if you don't give me my price, but if I'm if I'm a Bryce Miller person, I am definitely trying to sell him at the highest possible apex here, because if he happens to just go crazy and have this for another 3-4 starts, great. There's no way he does this for an entire season. It's impossible.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I picked him up in
2 Yugos and 1 Ford Fiesta, 3-cylinder. Done and done. Yeah, I randomly was able to get him in my Butterfinger division for the Fantasy 6-pack series. I don't know how, but he was there, and I think I put like $4 or something stupid on him. I was like,
I think we're finding out pretty quickly that people are not paying attention.
That's fine. I'm not. Or am I? No, I just missed the 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. cutoff most days. But yeah, I agree. I would give him, an A+ for what he's done now. Rest of season, I mean, if we're going marking periods here, maybe he gets another, a solid B+ for the next marking period.
Right.
But I think he's going to start tailing off.
Next marking period. I love it. You're really taking this teacher thing to heart.
What's that?
You're really taking this teacher thing to heart. Like, your next 9-week report
have a
card.
teaching degree. So yes, I did teach for 1 year. And that's
I'm
also
so sorry to those
need to
kids.
realize-
Yes.
Terrifying.
Yes. Yeah, it was. That's part of why.
And now you're not allowed within what, 500 yards of a school? That's amazing.
500 yards. Like 500 feet, bro.
Oh, sorry.
Like,
500
you get
school
500
buses.
yards. Come on.
I apologize.
I got really good binoculars.
Jesus.
Anyway,
No, I mean, for me, like,
good.
I picked him up. I picked him up in TGFBI. I mean, I'm pretty terrible in that league. But I desperately needed a boost, and I threw like $200 on him and won by like $10. So it seemed to be good. Now I need more help from anywhere. Yeah, I'm with you guys. Like, there's no way he keeps up this pace. There's going to be there's going to be like this drastic blow up game, right, from him. If not multiple in a row. Like, that's going to happen.
Right.
Good luck figuring it out when it happens, though. Like, that's
Right.
the thing.
That's the thing.
He's gonna be in your lineup when it happens, and you're gonna go, damn it.
That's the crazy thing too. Like, we were talking about, how he's gone deep into games, 6 innings, 7 innings. He's only pitched 81 pitches, 85 pitches, 82 pitches.
Super efficient.
It's ridiculous. Like, and his next matchup here is against Atlanta tomorrow. So, that's one of the better teams in the league. So we'll see what happens there. But, I wouldn't be surprised if he breaks that streak of less than 3 people on base.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you would have thought Houston, but apparently Houston's offense isn't good anymore. So
they still have that Jose Abreu guy, though, right? He's been good.
What I did wrong?
Not at all.
I liked Abreu this year. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so did I.
So are my fantasy teams that I got him. Yeah. So let's play a little. Who's hot right now?
Chat roulette. What?
We're gonna go with because screw you guys. I'm just gonna call him this anyway. Luis Robert, or Wander Franco. Who's hotter? Who wants the floor first?
Go ahead, AJ. Or you click in as quickly as possible.
I'm gonna go with Robert.
Robert. Okay.
I think so.
Why is that?
Because he's really one of the lone bright spots, if not the lone bright spot, on the Chicago White Sox right now.
Right.
And again, it's another guy who I seemingly have to play every freaking week. I don't know how that works, but he's been good, really good. And I'm mad at myself because I took Eloy instead of him, and Eloy is now on the IL and also off my team.
Here's another answer to that. Oh, he's always on the IL. Bucks
Yeah, I know. I already know that, but so is Robert.
Yeah.
But he's not right now, and it's.
Yeah, I'm looking at Robert's
Very
stats
annoying.
over the last couple of weeks. He's got 4 bombs, but only 5 RBI. Like, man, Chicago, what the hell? So much talent. What is going on? Man.
So yeah, if you put these guys side by side, especially considering Luis Robert, I think he had 4 home runs, 4 games in a row that he had a home run in.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
And that was basically nothing since.
Yeah, and I got Mendelson, Dave Mendelson on Twitter. I actually bet with him that he was going to do 5 in a row, and of course he didn't. But you wouldn't if you put these guys' stats side by side, and that's the reason why I'd asked to have this topic. You wouldn't believe how close they are, right? Like Robert only has 5 more runs scored than Franco, but Franco has 6 more hits. But the thing is, that's really crazy to me, right? You expected to have a lot more home runs, right? So Robert has 5 more home runs, but he only has 5 more RBIs as well.
Yeah,
So of course,
bad.
right? But then, the batting average difference is 20 points, but the slugging percentage is like 50 points. But then when you do on base plus slugging, they're only 30 points difference. Honestly, from a fantasy perspective, I am picking Franco because you get more stolen bases, especially lately. The dude has been unconscious, 13 more stolen bases. Yes, he's been caught stealing 4 times, but for to give up just 5 home runs and 5 RBIs, that to me, again, from a fantasy perspective, which is what we look at this for, I'm picking Franco, especially the fact that he's a shortstop. Right, the shortstop position is not as deep as it was when we had Noma and some of those other guys back in the day.
Cheetah.
Yeah, I definitely would pick Franco over Robert. That would be my choice. I think he's hotter.
I think the the overall season says Franco. But I mean, outside of the steals though, he's really cooled off. So
yep.
Franco kind of worries me. Is he now kind of going back to is he regressed back to
Julio Franco,
what we had last year from him, where it wasn't really that great,
right?
And so if he can get on base, cool, he'll steal some bases, but you're just not going to get much else from him, outside of that.
But we're also due for a Luis Robert injury
that is
anytime
true.
now.
That is true.
Now that I've said it, you're F, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I have him in every league. Sure.
I think with Robert, I prefer him. I really do.
Really?
I kind of go for the guy who I know has this massive pop in his bat, and Tim Anderson's eventually going to get on base in front of him, right? Jeez, have this happen, Dave Eddy. I blame you for convincing me to draft him in almost every league.
I just traded for him actually today in another league. So Tim Anderson, that's what I meant.
Because he was free.
Well, that plus I expect, like you said, he can't go anywhere else but up at this point.
Right.
You're right. I mean,
he's so good, but eventually, I think the White Sox offense will figure it out. Robert seems to be the first one who has figured it out, so I'm hoping everybody else catches up. We know the talent is there with Robert. We know it's there for Franco too, but I still just kind of worry Franco goes in these stretches where he just literally can't get on base, man. And so that worries me.
You brought up an interesting point about Franco. I didn't realize how much he cooled off. Over the last 7 games, he has 5 hits, 0 home runs, 0 RBIs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, only 3 stolen bases for a 192 average, and he's slugging 231. Wow,
really bad lately. Yeah,
so really, this is a trick question. I'm sorry, I put it in the show notes, but really, this is a trick question because the answer is Ronald Acuna. Between those two guys,
is on another planet, guys.
I mean, what is this guy doing? My favorite thing, Codified Baseball put a great tweet out today. Batted balls hit at 105 miles per hour or more so far this year. So you have Matt Chapman at 27, Rafael Devers and Vladdy at 34. Nobody at 35, 36, 30, all the way up until you get to 47 at the very top, and that's Ronald Acuna. It's like this big of a space between.
Insanely good.
Wow.
We're talking about he wanted to go for 40 and 40. He wants to do it.
Right.
He's very close, dude.
Seems to be on his way.
He's gonna be there with the steals.
Yeah.
The home runs need to stay at this pace, if not go a little faster. You need to start hitting a couple more. But man, he started off kind of slow with the power. That
was the thing. I mean, with his slow start, I couldn't believe he, where he was, because I was I woke up about 2 weeks ago. I was I knew his kid kicked it up, but wow.
He's hit 4 in a row. 4 games in a row, a home run. You want to talk to Mendy and go for that 5th?
I have no problems. I bet with Mendy. I bet with Dave Eddy as well on the daily. But Mendy's got the best prop bets. I love betting with Mendy on the prop bets. But yes, Dave Eddy on the daily.
4 home runs at the end of April.
Wow.
he's going nuclear in May.
Whatever AJ said to him really pissed him off. I think AJ said he was gonna. It's like, I'm gonna draft you, and he's like, oh really?
Taking you first in every league, and I'm gonna talk about you nonstop.
Can you tell that to all the Oakland A's, please? That'd be great. Yeah, that's not 4. You only had 4. Wow.
If I did the math right,
That's absurd.
can I count? I don't know.
I don't know. Can you? Because I mean, we did our on pace segment a couple shows ago. So.
Yeah.
4. He had 4 on April 26th, and he didn't get his 5th until May 1st.
Wow.
I mean, May 1st, May 3rd, May 10th, and then
Jeez.
14, 15, 16, like 4 in a row. Bam.
I like the angry Acuna. Whatever.
Oh, he's pissed, man. Yeah,
he's mad about something.
All right, so I think this is going to be more of a you topic here.
Okay.
What to do about these top Rays prospects? They all seem to be blocked. Like the Rays, loaded team. They're obviously playing very well. Best team in baseball. We're looking at guys like Manzardo, Mead. Like what do we do with these guys? I'm guessing you're looking more like dynasty type things, or I think redraft obviously you just gotta wait. Like you don't have these guys in redraft ratings right now. You're just waiting for the news if they do get called up. But like dynasty, like what do you do with these guys that we don't know when they're gonna get the call because there's a lot of guys in the way.
Well, I mean, I think you look at it's not just the hitters too, right? Taj Bradley, for example, right? He came up. I mean, he wasn't lights out. He wasn't, a Bryce Miller. But Taj Bradley comes up and they're like, we got enough pitching depth. We'll send you back down and you figure it out. We'll bring you back up here, right? It really makes you wonder because, like you said, Manzardo, Carson Williams, Junior Caminero, Curtis Mead, all those guys sound like they could hit today. But Mead, Manzardo, and Williams and Caminero are all infield guys. Now they're in the minors; they're moving them all around like the Rays do because they just really want to piss off everybody that plays fantasy. I wanted to talk about this because it makes you really wonder if you should ever, even in dynasty, but in redrafts especially, if you hear like, oh, here's a top prospect, he's ready to go, like a Wander Franco, right? Because Manzardo is just destroying balls right now. Do you even trust a prospect getting called up for the Rays? Do you, unless unless they have injuries, like you said, I don't know if I'm going to trust somebody getting called up and having any type of playing time. I don't know if I want to waste a bench spot or a top waiver pick for one of these guys. Because the Rays might turn him into he's a shortstop. Well, we'll just have him pitch 6 innings just to mess with it.
That's development, baby.
So the thing that's going around, right, Aaron? So they're talking about like, well, they need maybe some help in the bullpen, or they need this. These are the Rays. Have you looked at how they acquired some of these other players that they have? Like Fairbanks, they got for like, I think they got him for like a box of saran wrap. I laugh at these Twitter feeds where it's like, oh yeah, the Manzardo or Boz or Mead, they're probably going to trade them away because they're all log jammed. No, they're not.
No,
unless
they know that's ammo in their pocket forever.
Exactly. And I mean, and if they do, they're going to win the trade like they always do. It's just silliness. So yeah, I was also looking for your guys' input. If you guys see any type of kind of play here somewhere else, because again, their infield is amazing. And I don't know where their weakness is right now. Yes, they're on a downslope right now. Where would you put them?
I mean, like we see this even with the players that are like known commodities and they've had major league experience. I'm blanking on the name right now, but like I feel like there was a couple of years ago where there was like an outfielder and it was like, why is he platooning? Oh, because it's the Rays. And you're like,
right.
What? And then they traded the dude, and he's great. They're totally blanking on the name, but like I know the situation. But it was like, man, like this is just what the Rays do. They're smarter than us, by the way. They are way
of
smarter
course, yeah.
And I mean, you look at their team and you're like, how the hell are they the best team in baseball? Oh, they're just smarter than us. Like,
Yeah.
Of course.
honestly, like it
Randy
really
Arozarena.
isn't like an all-star studded. I would love to see what the management and the coaching staff would do with a Yankees payroll.
Oh God.
Like, what would they would
They'd go
never
nuts.
lose a game. Like, could you imagine?
I'd just like to see them out of Tropicana Field.
What?
I don't.
But Tropicana is so beautiful.
Yeah.
When it's in a glass with champagne,
Yeah.
that's it. The field, not so much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, I would say like Isaac Paredes would probably be like their biggest hole, but he's
Right?
he's
But-
fine. They seem to like him for some reason.
Sure.
You know, he's batting 293 this year. When the hell
I
did
mean-
we ever expect that to happen? Come on, they make Isaac Paredes good. Let's be real, that happened.
I mean, I think they've, and at the same time too, I think I can name off like 2 trades that they sucked at, like Cronenworth and maybe one other guy I can think of off the top of my head. But I mean, the
the
I don't
pitchers
know.
they traded to San Diego and they would laughed on the way out because
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
bad.
or the Chris Archer, like absolute, like just
Oh my god,
robbery.
Yes.
Archer.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God! So let's name off the Archer trade, right? Tyler Glasnow, Shane Baz, and Austin Meadows for Chris
Austin-
Archer in 2018.
Austin Meadows, and they don't
Oh,
even have Meadows anymore.
Austin Meadows is the outfitter I was talking about.
Yeah.
He's the one who like couldn't get consistent playing time.
Yeah,
And,
and then went
he
nuts.
talent out the know
Yeah.
what. And
Right.
they were just like, oh no, you're just gonna sit against lefties or whatever it is, and put
Right.
this other guy in, and it worked. And
Right.
then they traded him for a bag of gold, and he's
Right.
dust, and it's like no idea what's happening here. I mean, he's been Meadows was.
They're like,
decent.
hey, we hear your brother's coming up, and he's with Detroit. Okay, we're just gonna ship you there. You can teach him everything we taught you,
Right.
and maybe you can somehow revive your career
I mean,
there.
think about this.
We don't need you anymore.
Meadows in 2021, 27 bombs, 106 RBI. Went to Detroit the next year. Granted, he got hurt in 2022.
Sure.
Nothing. Like literally nothing in 27 games. Not a bomb. No steals.
He was almost next to nothing in Pittsburgh because I had him in a dynasty league and was sitting on him forever. Like,
Oh,
so
yeah,
excited for
they
him to
went
come
to-
up and finally play, and was just like, what the fuck is going on with this guy? And then he gets
Yeah.
traded after I traded him, and then that was it.
And
That was it.
and
It
so
was
what you're
like,
telling me is that the front office is looking at what your transactions are, and they're like, "Oh man,
oh,
AJ
yeah,
traded
I
him."
mean,
that's
locked
the
into
real
AJ's
big brother. I mean,
They're locked into AJ. Yep.
it's the David Silvers of the world, and it's whatever schmucks running this league and that league. It's all of them are the big brothers watching us as fantasy people, seeing basically what I'm doing and doing the
right.
opposite.
Yes. Well, good. Thank God. Look, if you're in, if you're in Dynasty, you know about all these players. If you're in redraft, I would definitely keep an eye open for Manzardo. They call them the Italian lunch, like the other guy. Because you have the Italian breakfast already, so the Italian lunch, right?
Yeah.
And then, if there's an opening, him and Curtis Mead, I mean, that would look great on anybody's redraft league. Their bats are ready, so definitely for redraft players, just put them down. Write down Mead, Manzardo, or M Scribble, and hit the little star and just watch. Yeah.
And as soon as
If
you
you're-
hear the news, go.
Yeah. If you're in
can't
a,
hold them in redraft leagues.
absolutely not. No,
I mean, they could
no
be
way.
August because that's the Rays, right? Last
Rays.
quick topic here is the magic over? The Pirates, man,
Yeah.
3-7 the last 10 games, and they're still over 500. But it was a good little story. Like the O's and the Pirates, like the whatever 1983 World Series or whatever year it was.
Right.
Like could it happen again? Maybe.
It was not 1983.
The hell year was it?
1976 probably.
Whatever. Anyway. I was 1 in 83, so excuse me if I don't remember that.
In 1883, you're 1 year old, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Amazing.
Anyway.
You are
the O's
looking
are
good
still,
right now for
kind of hanging around.
8,000.
They've kind of struggled a little bit. They really, they split the series with the Angels with a 4-game series. Part of the Pirates' downfall was the O's, actually. The Pirates scored a total of 7 runs in that entire series. Both teams got shut out at least once, which was kind of weird. The O's, they actually won the series against the Rays, and we were just talking about them. Like, that was kind of crazy. I did not see that happening. But back over to the Pirates, is this now the end of this like crazy run that they had to start the year, who nobody saw coming?
I mean, I don't want it to be, but rational mind, right? You think it has to be. The Cardinals hit tonight, right now, as many home runs, 7, as the Pirates have all month, and it's the 18th.
Did you just say they hit 7 home runs tonight?
Yep.
I'm not watching the box score. Holy crap.
Who did? Wait, what?
The Cardinals.
The Cardinals hit 7 home runs tonight?
They've destroyed the Dodgers.
Yeah. So
wow.
that would be
1979 is the World Series you're looking for.
Okay.
Pittsburgh
Wow.
and Baltimore.
wow.
I knew it was a lot
So
over.
I mean, so that that might be a problem if you're not scoring, right? And I mean, before it started the thing, right? It wasn't just they were scoring, but everything was going well for them, right? They were scoring. The pitching was going great. You can't be playing on all sides of the ball like that for forever. There's going to be a dip. The key is going to be, can they rebound, right? If we don't see something here in the next couple of weeks, then I don't think they're good enough to come back from not, having a little dip. If it's a little dip and they come right back, great, right? That's a resilient club. I don't know if they're that good to do that, but when you have the likes of Rich Hill as one of your hitters, pitchers. See, I'm doing it like you now, Joe. Thanks.
Hey.
Yesterday he had 6 innings pitched, 2 walks, 7 Ks, vintage Rich Hill, but it's Rich Hill. I mean, he's 97 years old.
End up on the IL too.
Right. So I don't know. I think that it's fool's gold. It was a great story while it lasted, but they're going to be Oakland A's-esque here very shortly.
Well, I don't know if I go that far, but
Oh yeah, I go that far.
Also 1971.
Was the last time you made a joke. I remember.
No, that was 10 minutes ago.
love the self-confidence, AJ. Love it.
What do you think? I mean, Joe. I mean, you're a lover of bad teams like me. You love the O's. So I mean, what do you think?
Second place right now.
Okay.
I do find it kind of funny though. Like the last time the O's were good, I'm pretty sure the Pirates were also good. Just being like, why does this keep happening? No, I mean, I don't think they're gonna keep this up. They don't have the talent on that team to keep this up. Neither do the O's. Let's be real. Like that pitching is now in a year where pitching sucks in general. Maybe the O's can overcome this, right?
But the O's have a very strong, back end right now that's working. We'll see how long.
Are you looking at their back end, AJ?
I'm always looking at their back end.
Oh God!
Always looking
It's
at
so
their back
strong.
end. Straight from Pickles Pub. All right.
Oh my gosh!
Look, I mean,
right
look,
behind the
Mercado
Gold
stole
Glove
home.
of
I'm like the
Brooks Robinson statue.
everything today. Like how the hell?
5
4 home runs in the
Yeah, I don't see the Pirates continuing
Right.
whatever magic they had to start the season. I mean, Brian Reynolds is really all they have.
But on the
with
pitching
a
side,
bunch of guys.
but on the pitching side, who's their all-star? Come on, AJ. Who's the big guy? Who's the Brian Reynolds on the pitching side?
Oh, I mean, it's clearly Blisters Hill.
No, it's not. Mitch Keller, man.
Yes. No.
Yeah, your breakout. Look, I mean, his last performance, I mean, wow. I mean, come on. He's doing 11 Ks per 9. The bad thing is that Pittsburgh was looking at doing a long-term deal with him. And now Mitch is like, sweet. Yeah, I mean, look, they signed, I mean, look, they just signed Brian Reynolds. It's a big deal. I mean, are they going to get, their ace now? That's the good and bad about starting off hot. Everybody's going to talk, it's going to be more expensive. But AJ, who leads the National League in quality starts? What team?
What team?
I mean, the National League? Pittsburgh?
Yeah, National League. There you go. Pittsburgh Pirates. Excellent guess.
We're talking about this team.
I was trying to see. I was just. I'm like Stockton, man. Look at that.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
Yeah, but yeah,
right into the closet doors over there.
I believe. Unlike Bryce Miller, I believe in Mitch Keller 100%. I think that is he was earmarked by a lot of people to be not to be this big of a breakout, but definitely be a breakout.
He was supposed to be last year. Remember that noise? Yeah, that didn't work.
Yeah,
so glad it's happening at least one time.
Yeah. Does he not look like Tim Hudson to you, by the way?
Oh God.
No.
Speaking of
know what Mitch Keller looks like.
Oakland pain.
Okay, well then never mind. Look him up. He looks very Tim Hudson-esque.
Rich Hill?
Yeah, no.
Rich Hill definitely does.
I can see that.
Oh, Mitch Keller, you jerk.
Oh.
Rich Hill is so old. He played for the Oakland A's when they were in Oakland. Yeah, sorry. I'm still angry.
They're going to Vegas, bro.
Still angry.
Rich Hill's going to have a statue with a Las Vegas Aces jersey on because they're changing the name, which is BS. I don't agree with that. I
did not know they were changing
the
name until
it's already a team. It's called
one of the
oldest
franchises in one of the original franchises.
That's sad. Like
Philadelphia Athletics. Hello.
Just do what the Raiders did. Just call them the Vegas Raiders. Don't change the nickname. Like, damn, how bitter do you have to be, owner?
I mean, look what Utah did. Utah kept the Jazz, which makes absolutely no sense. But
yeah.
I mean,
last time I checked,
this is like the
Mormons
Hornets,
weren't into
moving
Jazz.
to
they were into
like the Charlotte Bobcats. They were like, what? No, this is weird. Stop it. New Orleans Hornets or whatever. Like, they're the Charlotte Hornets. Please. Keep the names.
Absolutely.
So weird. But yeah,
Larry Johnson would have rolled over in Grandma's grave if they changed it.
Anyway, all right. We're going to close it out here. We've rambled on for the last 10 minutes.
I've made enough references.
If anybody's still
I have officially knocked Cap's earphones off twice now tonight.
I just lost.
Join us next week where I'll go for 3 for 3.
And I'm sober. That's the worst part. Like,
you killed that show like Zach Gallion killed that bird with that curveball.
Right. Damn right.
Wow.
You know who owns Zach Gallion? This guy.
That bird.
But it's weird because I actually found a dead bird outside of my office the other day. I was like, what the hell is this? I took a picture and I sent it to my boss. I'm like, dude, what's with this parking lot? And then I took a picture after I took a stick and like barely moved it into the brush. True story. I got the pictures. I'll send them to you. Anyway.
I think we're good.
We're out. You get a A+ for awesome.
Where's your F for AJ?
Wait, did you hear that part?
AJ gets an F. All right. We are done. Hope you all enjoyed it. I'm laughing. I hope you're laughing because that's really all that matters.
I am not a crook.
Good night, everybody. See you all later.